teaching a class online is not always smooth. Sometimes you can be engrossed with a lot of challenges. But when you begin to grasp it, you appreciate the extent you have gone. At least it will give you some cause to be maybe happy over it. So we have been able to touch a lot of things in Excel. And why I took my time for the Excel is that Excel is the most common of all the tools of analysis that we have talked about. So Excel is very, very common everybody, because in the laptop you always have access to Microsoft Excel. So that is why it's that common. But the applications and the usability is where the difference comes. Most people don't know what is there in the Excel that they have. They see it as a common calculator or just filling in figure. That is why it gives you figure and you rest. Of course, you can see that Excel is for every profession. From what we have seen in the formula function, anybody can use it, depending on the profession you are coming from. So we have been able to do that, and we have been able to also go step up our understanding by studying macros. Macro is a repeated uh, uh, function, repeated action that can be done with Excel. You can use it to clean up a whole lot of data. And the last aspect of Excel where we are going to conclude is the Visual Basic Application, VBA. And it's an advanced application that I'm not going to rush. I was in my mind thinking maybe just one day, just do it and go, or latest 2 days, but I've seen that it has a lot of things. You're like you are repeating almost, applying almost technicalities on almost all area of use. So for it now, we're not going to rush it. I will introduce it, then I will now go and as a bonus teaching, go to Google Analytics, touch on, but especially on the sheet, which has similar application with Excel, so that I can also encourage you to use that again as a source of data analysis. So when we talk about VBA for application, and Visual Basic is an advanced uh, at Excel tool of analysis. Now you see that in macro we're able to use the system recorded within the system to repeat a process. All you need to do is for you to do whatever you are doing. As you are doing it, the system is using a code to record your steps, and after you have finished, the system will now play it and give you an answer. That is what macros does. Now VBA now takes it a little bit higher, in the sense that you are the one writing the code. You are not waiting for the system to replay it for you. You are writing the code based on logic, and when you have finished writing the code, you can be able to implement the same code and you get results. But you need to also look at the interface, and mind you, macros and VBA goes hand in hand, but VBA is more advanced because there's some things that macro may not be able to do that you can do with VBA. That is what separates men from boys in Excel. The Visual Basics, there's some aspect of it that we cannot actually use macros. So we're going to take it step by step. So I want to first of all give us the introduction of the Visual Basics. Of course, I believe all of us have this developer tab on our in a Excel sheet. You see, we have the Visual Basics, you have the macros, you record macros, use relative macro references, amongst others that we have done. Now, when you come to the Visual Basics, you can open it from here or you can also open it when you come to your laptop. You see the out, we have shift, we have control, we also have the place that shows the window, then we have alt. When you click on the alt and you press F11, alt F11, it will bring you to Visual Basics. It will bring you to Visual Basics. This is Visual Basics environment. Let me close this. So this is Visual Basics environment, or let me close it again. You can also come to the Visual Basics and click on it. It will still bring you to the same environment. It's the same thing. It's just like having an idea of what you want to do. Now, when you come to the Visual Basics environment, you see it also have some files or some openings which has important meanings. Like we have our file, we have some files saved under Visual Basics. They are not the same type of file, so you have a way you can save them. So you can also to extract them back. You can edit your work, you can view it, and normally when you want to start a new work, you start with the insert, and you can also format and make your work better. Now debugging is when you have issues, your work is not giving you the right answer, you will not be wondering where is it coming from. You can, through the debugging mechanism, be able to dictate where your problem is, and you can also be able to solve it. Then you can run your Visual Basic from here. The tool of analysis, add on, you can go back to window from here. Then when you come down, you can view your micro Excel sheet from here, and this is another insert form, just like here. Then you can save your work too from here. We have some active inactive platform here because we have not engaged them. You can play, run your macros here, you can break and reset. So a lot of things can be done here. So this is your visually your VBA environment. So entering it, when you go to your developer, you click on your Visual Basics, or you come on your laptop, even in your Excel worksheet, click on Alt, then F11. It will also bring you to this environment. Let me go back to the work. This data was extracted from the sales transaction. The order ID and the order quantity was extracted here, just for a little demonstration of what we can be able to do with Visual Basics. So let me go to the macros first and remove the work I did earlier. Or if I don't remove the work, it will not agree to allow me to reuse it. So when you come to the sheet, for instance, and this is an order ID, and this is quantity that was ordered. Then you want to, under the note where possibly there's somebody that I've assigned, his work is to look over the stock, the quantity that have been brought within. It's possible it may have date, or use a hypothetical idea. You can be able to say, okay, we want to look at the quantity level and restock, or if what we have gotten within the day, looking at other dynamics of the sales activity, we need to restock using the macros and going to the basic environment for for this simple activity. We can do that. For instance, I can come here and write I want to restock my goods. I want to restock these goods based on what I have seen on this ID. Then what is the date I'm restocking? Maybe 20th of April 2024 is the date I want to restock. So this has been captured here. Now if we want to use our VBA to write in order to capture other dates, assuming we also want to put other dates that can be restocked too. So we don't need to be writing one after the other. You know, this roll is almost 1000 row, if not more. No, it is very high. I think it's more than that. Let's see. I think let me see. Shift Control down. 8,000 8,370 row. Shift Control up. So it's a very large document or rules. So for you to be doing it one after the other may take a lot of time. So but you want to pick what you want to do. So what you will do in this instance is to use our Alt F11 and we'll come to the Visual Basic VBA environment, and when we come there you go to the insert and go to module, and you can push it, bring it up. So whenever you want to start your observation on the VBA, you start by, you see here showing declaration, start by using a sub. Sub is the language that we use to introduce what we want to do. So we'll sub. Then the next thing is, what file are you bringing in? And the file will come here. You see it's transaction file. When you look at the name here, it's transaction file. So go back. Is this okay? I will write transaction. Transaction, and we click enter. Once you click enter, it will tell you, show you that after you have done whatever you want to do, you will end again with this word end, and you put sub. So that is what we want to do. We want to see how we can use a code to now enter the restock that we have in mind with a given date. So the next thing you do is to type a range. This range is asking you where do you want to indicate your restock. So when we want to show the restock is on the it's already on the C column. Let's go back again and look at the Excel. It's already on the C column. Maybe this is C2. Assuming I want to put it on C10, I want to restock C10. So I will go to my work and I'll enter a bracket, and in the bracket you enter in your the double comma, double apostrophe, and write you want it to be on C10. That's the range you want it to appear. So once you have done that, you will now put in a full stop. So putting in a full stop will now allow you to pick what you want to do with this particular range you have picked. Are you adding comments or threads? When you scroll down, you see a lot of things that you can do given this particular um, argument you are putting up. And what you want to put here is value. So when you type on value, v, so this value you want to put up, and that value should be equal to a particular argument. So the argument is that what do you want to put in that value? So what you want to put in the value is, remember, is a restock. Want to restock. I hope my spelling is correct. I want to restock. So if you have put in the restock, then you use this ampersand that is joining two things. And remember, anytime we use a string, just like in Python, we always have this double column, this double apostrophe off to show it's a string. So also applying them, because this is the argument. Here we're also seeing this as a string because she's not pure number. That's why it's also appearing here. So you now type date. So which date? Date is the date, today's date. You know, if you go to date function, when you put date, it will interpret it to what you want to see. So if we have done that, we can now go to our Excel environment and go to developer. Go again to your macros now. You see we have transaction there. So click on the transaction and you run it. You see that we are looking at the 10, that is C10 was what we actually say we want to restock. And the stock now, see, it has given us today's date, which is 23/04/2022, as the stock want to do. Now this was made possible using the code, simple code that we wrote in the what do you call it now, in the Visual Basic platform. So we're able to achieve this. Now remember that what differentiates the macros and the VBA is your ability to write the code on your own. And once you're able to write a code, whether it's COM and the COM was able to do something, we can refer to you as what? As a developer. As a developer. That is why you can see this in here. People that write code are called developer. Because they use code to do a lot of query and inquiry and bring out some logics and important answer, and they can use code to set up repeated action or to extract whatever they do or do a lot of corrections. You can use code to do that without interfering in the flow of work. So this is what we're able to do here. So but discover that this particular one, assuming I also want to go ahead to put on row 14 or 16 or 17, for instance, it may not be applicable because I only condition it to give me results on stock for row 10. So if we want to change this, we'll go back again to our click on the Alt F11 again. When you click on Alt 11, this is our code. We can do something. We can change this range. You can remove this range now. You remove it and you put your active, type active cell there. Now active cell is talking about the cell that is active at any time, can also get similar results. That is what it's saying. So if we have done this, we can now go back again to our platform here. Once we have come here, now I want to see to do the same thing on maybe this. I want to restock here, for instance. If I have done this, I will now go to my macro, go to my macros and come to my transaction. Now this is the active cell. Why is it an active cell? When you come here, see that it's showing C16. That shows that it's the active cell here. And when you click on run, you see that I have been able to populate it. If I touch here again as an active cell, for instance, and still go to my macros, open my macros again, and go to my transaction, I can also run, and it will give me the restock. So I don't have to go through the process again, just putting up an active cell and running, and I'm able to do a lot of things here. So let's going back to the, click on your Alt F11 again to bring us to this. You can understand this is the environment where we can be able to do some things here. I can make comment. Comment is when you want to make a statement. That statement is not part of the code. It's not part of the code, but it's something that is going to explain what you are doing in a code. It is called comment. How do we do it? I can, for instance, come over here and maybe come down here. All I need to do is just an apostrophe like this, and I'll say as an example. Once you have done that and you move away from it, you see it has turned green. So this green means that it's not part of your code. It is trying to explain what you are doing. Maybe you can put a little line of argument there so that you can come back to it after 2 months, 3 months, after 1 year, 2 years. You can see and understand what you did in that code or why you did what you did. That is how you can be able to comment it. So when you comment it like this, it is there. Now if I still go back to this restock and come on this 19 for instance, and go to macros and come to my transaction and click on run, you see it will still run in spite of what I have just done. It did not interfere in my coding. You can also go back to alt F11. You can also do other things with respect to trying to do some changes. Maybe you want to edit your work, for instance. You can also, but I'm not a TTD, but I'll give you an example. Assuming I want to edit this date, I can come here. Once you put your cursor there and click on it, you can do whatever you want to do. For instance, after you have done, it will remain. That means you have been able to edit. You can make correction just by putting up your cursor at that particular point, and it will give you whatever you need to get.